How did 4 U.S. soldiers end up dead in Niger? A top U.S. general just spoke about it.
And President Trump heads to Capitol Hill for action on a budget bill. CBS 2's Dick Brennan here now with all that and more.
Well, Maurice and Christine, we can tell you the president was also touting a deal today to create jobs in the U.S. He talked about that as he welcomed the leader of Singapore to the White House. President Trump in the Rose Garden with Singapore's Prime Minister Lee. The president was also on hand for a signing of a deal between Singapore Airlines and Boeing, totaling $13.8 billion.
And most importantly, it's about 70,000 jobs.
You bet. You bet.
So those are all jobs in this country, right?
In
this country.
70,000 in this country.
In the United States.
In the United States of America. Yes, Mr. President.
Otherwise, we'll cancel the order.
The president will head to Capitol Hill tomorrow. He wants fast action by Republicans in the House to approve the Senate budget passed last week so they can move on to tax reform. Mr. Trump sent his daughter Ivanka to Bucks County, Pennsylvania to push that tax reform plan.
The total complexity that exists today only benefits one group of people, the people who can afford to hire the armies of lawyers and accountants and lobbyists.
This plan stinks.
But Democratic leader Chuck Schumer is putting pressure on Republicans in some swing states because the tax outline calls for an elimination of deductions for state and local taxes.
State and local deductibility is a dagger aimed at the heart of New York and particularly of so many of our middle-class residents.
In the meantime, a widow of a soldier killed in Niger, Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, says she was upset after speaking with President Trump last week. Maisha Johnson says the president couldn't remember his name.
He risked his life for our country. Why can't you remember his name?
But Mr. Trump tweeted this morning, "I had a very respectful conversation with the widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson and spoke his name from beginning without hesitation." At this hour, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff held a briefing on that attack in Niger that killed the 4 soldiers.
On the 4th of October, U.S. and Nigerian forces began moving back south. And en route to their operating base, the patrol came under attack from approximately 50 enemy using small arms fire, rocket-propelled grenades, and technical vehicles.
Now, more information out of that briefing. General Dunford said U.S. forces did not ask for air support for 1 hour. Perhaps, he says, because he didn't think they needed it. The general says it then took French fighter jets another hour to get to the scene. He also said the intelligence indicated it was likely there would be and not be enemy contact. Of course, there was. That's an unanswered question.